I think we are at a very interesting point just now, and I want to continue exactly there where we have been before the break, because I think we can understand it from another way as a problem of communication. Yes? And I think we had a lot of practice now, so allow me a little bit to talk as a teacher, as this is my suggestion, and I'm sure you will interrupt me and scream in between. No. I mean, I see the frame of the work we are doing as something very, very big. All of you are highly motivated to deliver their most precious ideas and feelings and values to other people coming here, let's say most of them from Europe. These people are interested, they pay a lot to come here, they are not coming, they are not the typical people who are reading stupid newspapers with prejudice about Islam. In a way they are open, maybe not totally, and not actively interested in Islam, but somehow ready to get to know something interesting. Yes. So the problem of communication is actually, that's a dangerous thing, because you have two parts, and who is to blame if the communication doesn't succeed? Now, one can be very, very good in communication, but if the other one isn't, it doesn't help. It doesn't work. And how can we get this communication to work? And I personally think this is really a question of Islam. It is not Islam as contents, as belief. We believe in this, we believe in that, and the teachings and the sayings and all this. But I think we have to transform all this, all our belief, into an attitude, into, let's call it an instrument, which we can play with and really practice in this communication. Yeah? And the key word for me is interest. If you take it literally, what is interest? It means Interesse, being present, being in between. What or who is in between? The human being, the human self, is here when he's interested. We are present, yeah? Not dreaming away and this and this. That means this presence is necessary. That's what we want to achieve with our guests when they come. Sorry?
To make him or her interested.
Yes, and that isn't possible. You can't create interest. You can activate your own interest, but you cannot create interest directly in another person. You cannot claim interest or activate or what you say. No, but you can do it indirectly. And that's the trick I want to tell you about today. It's based on a kind of law or kind of rule. And that rule is expressed in homeopathic medicine. You know, the principle of homeopathic medicine is similia similibus. The similar is cured by the similar. Yes? How to say? If you are healthy and you take this medicine, you become sick. But if you are sick and take this medicine, you become healthy. You can be cured. So, and that's, I transfer to interest. If I want you to be interested, the first step is that I am interested in you. you know. And to reach this level, really, and that's something Europeans expect, not only as democrats and how can I say, living in a world that is shaped by science and, you know, knowledge, and that's very familiar for you. And so it's always about logic and this rectangle thinking. No, it's really basic. They expect to be on a level, on, how you say, eye to eye, or on the same. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not.
On the same level.
Yes, on the same level. If we appear as people who have so beautiful teachings and all wisdom of the Holy Quran and everything like this, and we just want to deliver this to someone who is coming from Europe, for example, it won't work. We have to get on this level where we really have the eyes on the same level, yeah? They will reject it if we have this, you know, I know the truth and I'm ready to tell you the truth if you behave in a good way, and, you know, it doesn't work.
Oh, that would be me.
Okay, yes, I didn't want to say it so directly. And I want to point out 4 steps, 4 levels on which you can do this. And actually it is on all levels the same principle. It is, we respect the fact that what we experience with the story, that our opinions, our personal experience always dominate the facts.
I'll stop you for a second. During Yusuf's session, I would suggest that you all use a pen and a piece of paper. So you can write notes or something to remind you, because it's more of he giving more than interacting. So you'd have something to refer to by the end of the day if you would like to.
It's actually only 4 words you need to write down. So, you know, it's the question, how can we be open? How can, in a way, say, how can we be selfless and give space for the other we have, so they get interested? And that's what I mean with transform Islam into a method, use it as an instrument. So the first level is what our senses tell us. What do we see? What do we hear? I mean, we won't touch them, but but what is the outer appearance? What is, if I see you? Yeah? That's, everyone has something, you know, you can be interested in. Just see, like in this story, what has happened really? What's happening? Who is it? Who's it? Someone frowning all the time, you know, that gives a certain expression. Someone has very beautiful eyes. Another one has a very beautiful voice. Someone is going very straight. Another one has a problem with his legs or something. Many, many things you can, and just, if you're interested, just to experience this person as he or she is. That's the first level. And you don't interpret anything, you don't have theories or things. It's just mere interest. And it's all human, and it is really interest. I mean, I've been working as a teacher a long time, and when you work with children, you always have to solve riddles and enigmas to what's this child, how is it moving, how, you know, and all this. So you get kind of view to practice it. So that's perception, the level of perception of the senses. The next is the level of thinking. what does this person think? Can I just perceive what he has to say to me and really understand him, not judge, and, oh yeah, that's right and that's wrong, and correct it in my own thinking, and then, no, just understand what.
Listening and understanding.
Sorry?
Listening and understanding.
Yeah. Okay? That's the second thing. The third step is the feelings, the emotions. How does this person react upon everything? What I tell him, how, and it's not, again, a matter of explaining or understanding, but more of compassion. Just get into this emotional connection. And if this, if you succeed in this, you can come to the fourth step, which is connected to the will, the intentions, the values of the person. What is important for this person in front of me? What are your values? If we would make now a session with say, please write down 3 things that are very, very important in your life, for you. Everyone probably would write something different. It would not be all the same. Yeah? And having this attitude, honestly, to discover what is most important for you. I think this will open the way that, like an echo, there will come this question, and what is important for you? And then I get a chance to talk about what is important for me. For example, Islam. That's it.
Okay, can I stop for a second? So, what is the outcome from what he just said, according to every one of you? Because I can hear an absolute silence. Yes.
We should listen first. This is really important to get to know someone. We should listen first, and when we show we are interested in what he's saying, and to really listen and understand his motives in life, they will have to be, even out of politeness, listen to what we have to say.
So just listening or caring about what we listen to?
Listening and actually caring to even understand the person.
And it will not be only politeness. That's, it's infecting. It arouses the same feelings. My interest, it's automatically working. I promise.
So the first stage,
I think it's about putting yourself on the other shoes. So you are trying to get all what shall he is thinking and how he is feeling, and trying to put yourself in his place so as you can communicate with him at the same level that he is.
Yes, and I mean, I'm convinced that the situation, for example, in Europe, is like this, that people, in a way, have lost these religious traditions, and it's like forgotten. And when they come to a country like Egypt and meet people like you, they have this question. Yes? At least they are open for this question, maybe very, very unconsciously. But I experienced this myself. That's why I ended up in Egypt. It was, I didn't believe it was possible to live with religion in this way, like people here in Egypt did. Yeah? It's, they have this question, even if they have forgotten. You understand what I mean?
Yeah. So that would lead us to know more about their culture, the ways they live their life. So when we deal with them or talk to them, will talk to them from their point, not from our point. Yeah. So if we know their background, if we know their customs, the way they live their lives, then we'll be able to attract them or to get them interested through something they are already interested on, and then that would lead to say what we want to say as a topic of, let me steal your subject, as a topic of Yusuf saying, say what people like to hear, they would listen to what you want to say.
Making a bridge between.
Yeah, building bridges.
Yes.
So, do you mean we try to find like points that we all meet, and we start from this meeting point? Is that what you mean?
No, if we can say it a different way, we can say that it doesn't matter how people are different to each other, in language, in culture, in customs, in religion, in anything. By the end of the day, we are all human beings. You will definitely find something shared between you and the other person in front of you. I mean, if we looked at any two here, you would never find two similar. But you'll find it doesn't matter how big difference between one and another, you'll find something they are sharing. So all what we need to do is just look at what can be shared, focus on, make it look big, and that would be the bridge, as our sister here said. The bridge we are building for him or her to pass to us, or for us to pass to them, or even to meet halfway. It depends. As we start the day, we said there is positive and negative. We are trying our best to be the positive, but you can't guarantee that the other end would be as positive as you are. So you have to build the bridge. It doesn't matter if the other party would walk towards you using the bridge you build, or you meet in the middle, or you make the top efforts by building the bridge and walk to the end of the bridge to approach. And as we said before, you do all this and there is no guarantee. إِنَّكَ لَا تَهْدِي مَنْ أَحْبَبْتَ وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ يَهْدِي مَنْ يَشَاءُ. But let us take our best shot. But being mainly, in fact, if you notice that everything we are saying is linked to each other, the whole day is like one circle. You go and go back, you go and go back. So more or less what Yusuf is saying is what I started with. And more or less the example he's using is what James said. So it is all linked to each other. It is all one circle. We have to be positive. We have to build bridges. We have to understand when someone is telling us something. And when we tell, we need to know what we are telling and how to tell it. Because the major problem, as we can see behind us, I'll keep this for you for a while, to remind you, that everyone blaming the one before him or after him. No one, with all my respect to everyone sitting in front of me, no one is taking a blame on himself or herself. Everyone said, oh, but the one before me told me blah, blah, blah. But the one after me missed blah, blah, blah with what I said. But who takes the responsibility? All of us. All of us will take the responsibility. So if we take it in sequence, being positive, take the responsibility, building bridges, make an effort even to walk further to the end of the bridge to reach the other side, and then it is up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But at least we'd feel deep inside that we did what we should do the way we should do it. Agree? I want anyone to disagree with me.
No, please be quiet. I would like to refer to something that was said in the morning. You know, the two friends, one was liberal and the other was radical. Yeah, they're in the back.
Oh, they are sitting next to each other again.
I mean, go even further than liberal from the point of view of it. Take an atheist. Yeah? Coming on the citadel. Doesn't he have values? Doesn't he have convictions and beliefs? I mean, he wouldn't come there as a criminal who is ready to destroy everything. No? Just as a human being. But has no interest in religion and nothing at all. But has has values. So why not discover what are the values of this person? And if you do this honestly, I promise you, there will be this bridge. No? And that really, I think, makes Islam worldwide and shows that it is really a global religion. And something more, you gave the point. Religion is not, as for my opinion, as much a thing of safety and security and peace and calmness and this. No, it's much more a case of courage. Be ready to adventure. Go to discover something, preparing the future much more than conserving the past. So that again is something maybe that can give some guidelines for dealing with people coming from Europe. And the last thing I want to say is a bit more the emotional quality some people maybe have coming from Europe, because their background is so different from yours. For you, normally not for me, but for you, this living with Deen is natural. You are born Muslims, you have lived with it, and that's very natural for you. That's different in Europe. There has been a process of alienation from religion. The churches, it's
faded away.
They faded away. They don't play any big role anymore. And if we look back in history, we can see that all progress in the European countries happened against the resistance of the church. All the progressive scientists and philosophers, they always were banished and kept in silence and everything. I don't want to talk about Galileo and Copernicus. And now we have reached a point of evolution in Europe where really the churches are something like something for Sunday morning or
wedding.
It's not.
Events more or less.
It's not really important in society anymore. And now, look, the Europeans, they see these millions of Muslims coming to Europe. For what reason ever, I mean, that's again another chapter I would. But even they have more children. In Germany, we are a dying nation. Our women have how much? 1.5 child each, I think, during their life. So that's
the average.
the average.
One is more over 5 for the Muslims.
Yeah, and when they have these Muslim families, they see lots of children coming, and all or many of these people are very, very keen with their religion, very, very strong religion. So what's the normal reaction of a European when he sees, oh, this strong religion is coming? They say, oh my God, does this now begin again? This old medieval rule of, Can you understand it?
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely understandable, isn't it? So if you understand this, you approach a European person quite different than you would say, oh yes, I know religion in Europe and the attitude towards Islam and all this. It's your understanding which is the instrument to open the hearts of the people coming to you. That's it.
We'll allow James answer. Please.
Thank you. Can I just say something? Yeah, if I may just say, I think it's very, very interesting what you just shared, because communicating and connecting with people is so important. But I want to ask you a question. When you meet people, how can you best develop rapport with them? How can you do you understand? Obviously, we know what the word rapport means. Rapport means
Building
building a closeness or building an openness, right? You know, two strangers meeting each other. How can you develop rapport? How can you develop rapport? What would you like to say?
Well, for me, for example, I was in Ahmed ibn Tulun Masjid. I was taking picture from good, nice view. So, and I find the German girl. So I just point to her to come to take the same photo I take because it's very interesting there. Then I started speaking about Ahmed ibn Tulun history, and after I'm telling her a lot of stuff about him, she became loving him, especially when I told her that I visited this mosque a few years back. But just yesterday I read a book about him that made me the next day come to the same masjid to look to the masjid in different way, because I fall in love with this man, and even I was crying. So I'm trying, even I told her, you came to Egypt before? She said yes. But I told her, do you know anything about Islam? She said, a little. Then I told her, you are like me. When I came to the masjid 2 years, I have no idea.
That's very clear.
Then, when I know now about him, I came. So I take her from Ahmed ibn Tulun to the citadel, and I gave her some book in Germany about the Islam. So I told her, now you have to look different as I did.
Okay, well that's interesting. That's very interesting. Yeah. So you're identifying with her, and you're going through this. That's feel, felt, realized. I know how you feel. That's how I felt until I realized. So you're drawing alongside them, just to agree with them, and then share your experience. So that's very good. Thank you. What other ways can we develop rapport? Yeah.
I'd like to do the normal sequence, just shaking his hand and tell him your name and ask him something unexpected. Oh, it's a good shirt. Oh, sorry, the weather today is very hot. Are you agree with me? Asking him unexpected question.
Yes.
This is where we just to start a conversation between you and him and starting with the book.
That's right. So showing.
Can I attack him? Please?
What?
Can I attack
him?
Yeah.
What is the way you say what you are saying? It's like if you are reading from a book, okay? The whole idea behind it, that as we have been saying all day, and as Yusuf said, that you have to feel it. You are doing like, sorry, I don't mean you as a person, but the way you said it, it is like someone memorized something and he's repeating what he did memorize.
I think he means breaking ice.
Yeah.
Just breaking the ice, but how to break the ice.
Yeah.
There is kind of different ways. But I want to go back to what Yusuf was saying. You have to understand the culture and the background of the person you are approaching. Because what you said is very good. If you are dealing with an Arab, for example, shaking hand, most Europeans, you wouldn't like to shake your hand to start with.
Right.
So that's not breaking the ice, that's turn off to start with. No, we are putting the dots above the letters so we can read it. And by the way, that's the next session, the dot above the letters. So I'm not against what you said, but who to apply it with.
Yeah.
I try to say the conventional thing. The normal sequence.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
For whom? Let me enjoy it.
Let us enjoy it.
Carry on.
I think one of the areas which we can, everyone is interested in his country and is where he is belonging. So
learning his history.
Yes. So I think his nationality and his country and showing interest in his country.
Yeah.
This is a very good approach, and it always works.
Yeah. Yeah.
But of course you must be aware of the country itself and
the customs.
Yes.
Yeah, excuse me, but I think that's all right.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to develop interest for this special person.
Specific.